What's up, everybody? There's been a lot of people doing videos about being prepared for what's taking place in the world in general, and especially in our country. And I just want to talk about preparation. Just being prepared overall. A lot of people don't want to talk about this subject. A lot of people want to ignore certain things that's happening in the world. But I really don't believe that's what God would have His people to do, is to go about our lives as if nothing is really going on. Needless to say, we don't fear what's taking place. We're not looking at the news and trying to find reasons to panic like many people are doing. But preparation is serious. So sitting back and doing nothing when you realize that we are in the times of the end, that's really ignorant. That's what I was mentioning in my last video about God's people being ignorant. So I read a few scriptures, a few stories in the Bible on Joseph. And if you read Genesis chapter 41, I believe it is, we see the story of Joseph, where basically God showed Pharaoh, which was the leader of that region or the leader of that country, or however you want to view that. God showed the leader of the people what was going to be happening over the next 14 years. And even though Pharaoh wasn't a man of God, he had a dream concerning future events, which many people now are saying that they're dreaming different things. And it's just a lot out here. But when you read the story of Joseph, you see that God didn't leave the people ignorant. He gave Joseph the interpretation of the dream, and he let Joseph know what was about to be taking place in their country. So they were able to prepare. And I'm not going to go into detail about how they prepared and what was happening and all that, but it was bad times. Just let's leave it at that. So even with bad times coming, we see that God prepared His people, or He gave them the wisdom that they needed in order to prepare. Then I went and read in 2 Kings, the 6th chapter of 2 Kings, where the king of Syria was coming against the king of Israel, or the people of Israel. And every time he made a plan to come against them, God always had the prophet Elisha to know what the king of Syria was saying to his people. He had Elijah to know what the king of Syria was doing. He had Elijah to know where the king of Syria was going to be at certain times, where they were going. So that tells us right there that God doesn't want His people to be ignorant. He wants us to know things that are to happen, even dangers that are ahead. And He wants His people to be prepared. Because we know according to the Word of God, that without a vision, people perish. That's a plan. So we have to have a plan, and we have to know what's going on. We can't be ignorant. So without even talking about what to do to prepare, it's enough videos out explaining preparations that can be made. But the biggest thing is what in the video that Miss Hot Yoga made. You visit that page. That's one of the best pages that I've seen as far as preparing for the times to come and the times that are now. That's Miss Hot Yoga's page. You go, one of the biggest things or the best things that I've heard her say to her listeners was to pray and seek God, and He would show you things that need to be done for you and your family. But my point is just don't sit back. A lot of church people, a lot of Christian people believe that they should just go on living for God, keep going through their routines of Sunday church, Bible study church, live life as normal, and God is going to take care of His people and everything is going to be okay. And that's true. But why is everything going to be okay for God's people? The reason it's going to be okay is because God is going to show you what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and He's going to have His people prepared through obedience to His voice. So don't just sit back. Please don't just sit back and think everything is just going to fall in line for you, but you're not doing anything at all. Please don't be ignorant. You know, I started not to even do a video concerning this because of what I see in a lot of people today. They don't have a mind to listen, but at the same time listening to other ones who are helping people out by telling them different things to do and how to prepare in different ways. I know that it's really necessary to get this word out to anybody who will listen. So that's all I want to say. Be prepared. Y'all stay strong and remain strong until the end.